There are no strings on me.
Hey guys! Welcome to Solid 9, and today we're going to talk about Avengers Age of Ultron, a week after it came out. Well, we're recording this week after it came out. I don't know when Connor's going to upload it. Anyway,
I saw it twice.
Connor saw it twice. Anyway, who is this rising up from the grave? Oh, it's Jake! Jake! Oh, you're alive! Oh, after you came back from Vietnam, you're alive now. Oh, it's a Crimbus miracle.
I wasn't blowing that, by the way.
He totally was blowing me, by the way. I'm just very good at hiding my orgasm. Damn it!
That's a very delayed orgasm.
That was really...
Anyway, we're not here to talk about Jake blowing. We're here to talk about Avengers Age of Ultron. So, man, this one fucking sucked, didn't it? No, I'm kidding. I liked it.
And there go all of our Marvel fans.
I liked it. So we're just gonna go around and talk about what we liked about it.
Yeah, basically how this is gonna work, we're gonna go around, first we're just gonna talk about the things we liked about it, and then we'll go around again and talk about what we didn't like about it.
Nothing, it's perfect.
And then we'll give it a rating out of 10 at the end.
I mean, Connor's gonna be a rating out of 10 because I suck at giving things up, but...
So Matt, you start. What did you like most about the Avengers Age of Ultron?
I like the humor in it. Like, it was a lot more, like, the trailers make it seem all, like, and I'm probably gonna break up a lot of the same points that I did in my my Matt reviews on my other channel.
Sponsor!
Connor, put a link here.
Link in the description.
Link in the description.
Link right here.
Link right there.
I'm not gonna link it. I might. I don't know.
But like the trailer made it seem all like dark and like gritty and like it was gonna be all like super serious compared to the first one. It wasn't.
No,
like,
it had a lot of the same.
Like what I compared it to was it was a lot like how the trailer for Iron Man 3 made it seem like it was gonna be all like super like gritty and like Dark Knight Rises shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then the movie was a lot like more humorous and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of related it to. But yeah, overall, I thought it was good. What else did I like about it? I liked Hawkeye. Hawkeye was great.
Yep.
Fucking Hawkeye didn't do shit in the first Avengers movie, which I wasn't really that pissed about. But
he just like stood at the top of like a building and just sniped
I mean,
a bunch of aliens.
half the first movie,
half the movie he was mind controlled.
controlled.
Yeah, which is kind of a problem. But at the same point, it's kind of like we had enough characters in there already.
Yeah.
Like.
But I mean, this movie they do a lot more with Hawkeye.
This movie they do a lot more with Hawkeye because he has like. I feel like we should put like a spoiler alert for this entire review.
Well, this is a review. There's going to be spoilers.
Okay, there are going to be spoilers. If you're already like how many minutes in this movie you already knew that, or in this review you already knew that.
Just spoiler alert.
Anyway, but I like how
he has a family.
He has a secret family,
kids.
which they got that from the Ultimate Marvel comics, which halfway through this movie, for whatever reason, I think because of how many comments they made about Hawkeye having a girlfriend. I think at some point in my mind I was kind of like, man, they don't really do the thing in the Ultimate comics where Hawkeye has a wife and kids. Because in the main universe he doesn't. Because they always pair him up with like Black Widow or Mockingbird or something like that. And do that in the cartoons too. With they pair him up with either Widow or Mockingbird. And I was kind of thinking to myself, they never like give him like a married family because you don't see that many married superheroes.
They don't give him anything.
No, they don't. But then, like in this movie, around the time I was getting, I'm like, wow, they actually fucking did it. They actually gave him a family. So that was pretty cool. Let's just move on. Jake, go ahead. What did you like about the movie?
I would say my favorite thing would probably, well, maybe not my favorite thing. One of my favorite things also is the Hawkeye thing because Hawkeye was my favorite even though they didn't include anything about him in the first one. Like I thought he was a cool character. And then they actually finally developed him from, hey, guy with a bow, to, hey, guy with a bow with wife and kids.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed that.
Who actually got some pretty good lines in the movie.
Yeah, he did. He had the mind control, reference. He's like, that's not gonna happen to me this time or something.
Yeah, like when he was like, he's like, no, I'm fed up with that.
It's like I tried the mind control thing once, didn't really like it.
At that point, I was kind of like, man, Whedon, you know what you're doing. You know exactly how to like push our buttons.
What else? I liked Ultron in general.
Mm-hmm.
He was a cool. Who voiced?
James Spader.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job. I think. Like for not being like a huge global issue. I guess he wasn't a global issue, but like comparing it to the first movie with like aliens invading
city into the world. And
Loki was gonna fucking bring an army of aliens from space to invade the Earth, but he only managed to get just New York.
But I mean, Ultron was gonna cause global extinction also, so
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people have said that they're like, he wasn't a big enough villain. I disagree. I thought he was a really cool, developed villain because it was like they kept making like the references and joke that like he was like just born, so like the way that he thought was like it was correct, but like it wasn't at the same time.
Yeah, he's almost childish.
Yeah. Because he saw things as black and white and there were no gray areas, which I liked him as a
It was
character.
also like a more personal villain for the Avengers too, because technically Tony created him, so this whole thing is kind of his fault. Like Loki was the personal enemy to like Thor or whatever,
and Ultron's like really like sarcastic, like Tony also.
Yeah,
because Tony made him. He has kind of that attitude. That
which
Tony
like
does.
in every other thing I've seen of him, which I don't know all that much about Ultron. I know enough, but I haven't like read any comics with him in it or whatever. But I've seen like the Avengers cartoon with him in it, and he's not like that. He's just basically like, oh, kill all humans. Humans are evil. We must destroy humans. And in this movie, he's all like snarky and sarcastic.
He's just like an evil Tony.
He's more human than like half the characters in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he's a more human enemy than Loki was.
That one line he has where Tony is like, "What's all the vibranium for?" And he's like, "I'm so glad you asked that because I wanted to take this time to explain my evil plot," and then just like blast him with lasers.
A lot of
that was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys have seen the show The Blacklist.
No.
James Spader's on. He plays like the main kind of bad guy, kind of good guy. He's kind of like a rogue. But that character is a lot like his character in The Blacklist because they're both like sarcastic, like just dry-witted. Like the one on The Blacklist is a lot more moral, and he's not like I'm gonna kill everybody. But it has a lot of the same like humor and personality. So anyway, Connor, what did you like about this movie?
I mean, you guys haven't brought up the Vision yet.
Oh my god!
I was going to, but I was like, I was stuck to like, Matt only said 2 things.
Oh no,
I can't go to 3.
I only said 2 things, because I could go on and on about this movie, and I didn't want to like take away things from you guys.
The Vision was so like he was cool, but I feel like if he hadn't lifted Thor's hammer, that we wouldn't have liked him.
I almost shit myself.
Oh my god, when that happened, I was like,
because I feel like they gave him just the right amount of screen time.
Yeah.
But the way they handled it by like, because we need a reason to like root for the Vision, we need a reason to like him, and I think Joss Whedon knew that reason is he can lift Thor's hammer. He's totally worthy.
Yeah.
So the Vision is probably one of my new favorite characters.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites because he's kind of like freaking so pure.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because he was literally like just born. So, but I think like he's kind of like see like just the goodness in everybody because even in the last scene with him and Ultron, he doesn't see him as a monster. He sees him as his father.
Yeah.
So Vision's kind of like the most pure like member of the team.
It's one of my favorite lines from the movie when he's just like, "Well, I was born yesterday." It's so great. Another thing, I'm really happy that the Avengers themselves finally know about the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Because they've just been like in the movie so
They've
far.
been going around that for a while.
But now the Avengers are like aware of them.
Well, I kind of felt like Thor already knew about them because technically they're from space and he's from space.
Well, yeah, that's why he went on like his own like escapade.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like, and plus in Thor they have the Infinity Gauntlet in there.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the 2 Infinity Gauntlets they have.
Yeah, like the rumor is like there's 2 Infinity Gauntlets.
There are 2
the one that
because
Thanos has is not the one that's
the one
in
Thanos
Asgard.
has is
right-handed.
Is right-handed.
And the one in the Asgard is left-handed.
Is left-handed, yeah. So
which is kind of weird to me, but
well, that's from the Ultimate Universe where they had because in the Ultimate Universe they had 2 Infinity Gauntlets, but they each had 3 spaces on them, so the power split between them. But in the
but both of these gauntlets,
both the gauntlets have 6. So I don't know. There's 12 Infinity Stones.
Well, I mean, like if you're
I don't think there would
left-handed
be
and
12.
then right-handed.
I almost feel like Ultron just built another gauntlet or something, or I don't know.
Why would Ultron build a gauntlet?
What to impress Death?
Yeah.
Why does Thanos do anything?
You said Ultron, not Thanos.
You said Ultron. Wait.
You said Ultron.
You said Ultron.
Did I say Ultron?
You said Ultron.
At first you did.
Anyway.
Anyway. Thanos.
I know what you mean, Thanos. He may be doing that, or like the way I see it is that maybe they're like you said, if you're right-handed or left-handed, there might be 2 gauntlets, but you can like use either one with the Infinity Gauntlets, or like spread their power among 2 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
It just depends.
I don't think him making one's like out of line though.
No.
I don't know if he could make one. That's
Like,
the other thing.
Maybe that's what he meant by in the post credits. He's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Maybe he meant like, I'm tired of like sitting around waiting for us to get me the Infinity Gauntlet.
You're literally sitting around.
So he's
that
like,
one-
fine, I'll make one myself.
And that's why I love that post-credit scene, because he's just like, fine, I'll do it myself, because up until now he's done nothing but sit on his little throne in space, and I'm like, finally he's gonna start doing
Like,
some
when
shit.
I first saw that post-credit scene, or mid-credit scene, I guess, I was kind of like, really? That's it? But then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh, this means he's actually gonna do something.
Yeah, this
okay.
means he's actually gonna start being a player in the universe.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're gonna go around and talk about some of the things we didn't so much like about the movie. Matt, do you want to start us off?
Like, I like the movie as a whole, but I kind of feel like, and I said the same thing in my review, it doesn't quite capture, like, the awe and the wonder of the first Avengers movie, which, I think it's because when you saw the first Avengers movie, it was like the first time you saw all these guys together.
Yep.
And it was kind of like this big thing, and it was like the big, holy shit finale of all these movies coming up, all the movies were leading up to.
It's the first time it's ever been done.
Yeah, it's the first time it's ever done.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like I almost felt like it was a big movie, of course. It just didn't feel as big as it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt more in line and in tone with Winter Soldier than it did with the first Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it was just because like all these movies up to were all like, holy shit, this one's gonna be great. This one's gonna be better, and they were all leading up to it. Maybe it was overhyped. I think it was overhyped. It was definitely overhyped. But I still like the movie. I don't hate the movie. I still liked it.
Well, like, we're in an age now where it's hard to not
We were just
get
talking about
overhyped
that.
about like
Yeah.
everything.
Everything's too hyped.
Yeah.
Everything's way too goddamn hyped. So
you can't really expect, like, when you go into a movie theater, you can't really expect, especially for a movie of the scale of Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
for it to live up to your expectations,
Well,
because everything you've seen has raised those expectations so high.
I think the reason I had such high expectations for this movie is because the first movie met all of them
Mhm.
and more. So I was kind of like super trusting of. I don't know if this is Whedon's fault or not, but I was kind of super trusting of him by this point. That I was kind of like, you didn't fail with the first movie. I'm gonna trust you with the second movie, which he didn't fail. It just wasn't as big or epic as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, and then it's also just like, because like you said, the first Avengers was the first time you've seen all these characters on the screen together, and now like the second one, it's like, okay, well the first one already did that.
And it's not like
but-
we haven't had them team up in other movies before, because we had
Yeah.
Black Widow and Winter Soldier and
and Cap had a cameo in Thor.
and then we had another team up movie with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which, so it's not like they haven't been doing this beforehand, it's just it wasn't as the big, like, holy shit, big scale that First Avengers was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that hasn't been in like the other movies is Hawkeye. He's the only one that hasn't.
He was
been in.
supposed to be in Winter Soldier, but they couldn't work
Yeah.
out like a scheduling thing or whatever. But he's going to be in a Civil War, so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Alright, Jake?
What we didn't like, or what? Yeah. I didn't like. But pretty much the same thing that they didn't do in the first one, which is the lack of character development with specific characters. Even though for all the superheroes except for Hawkeye in the first one, they had their own individual movies to do it, and then they fixed it in Age of Ultron with specifically Hawkeye by showing, we already talked about that, by showing in their things. But there's two superheroes that they didn't really touch on as much as they did everybody else, and I think that was Hulk and Thor. They just didn't show them doing as much in the second one compared to the first one. With Hulk, I think he was gone for like half an hour just smashing stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because he's Hulk, he's just gonna go and smash shit. That's fine.
I think I know the point you're talking where like him and Natasha get up on the island and then he just jumps off and you don't see him again for another like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Thor, he's there, he's like at the party, he's like they're trying to lift a hammer and all that kind of stuff, and then he's just like, I'm gonna go fly off and do my other thing. And we see just the occasional maybe 5-minute clip of us seeing him doing his thing. And I'm like, I wish I would have seen a little bit more of Thor, because you see so much with Captain America and Iron Man and everybody else, and then
Well, see, what I thought it was going
Thor's just
to be,
kinda
I
there.
thought it was going to be a lot worse, because what I heard, what my theory was that the big battle where Scarlet Witch fucks with everybody's mind was going to happen in the beginning.
Mhm.
So then after that, Thor was going to go off and do his own thing, and that was going to be like for most of the movie, and he was going to come back for the finale. So I thought it was going to be a lot worse.
kind of like what they did with Hawkeye.
Yeah, like
in the first one.
like I thought that Thor wasn't going to be in like most of this movie.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, that's bullshit. I hope he's like still. So I'm glad they moved, or they had the the big fuck the minds stuff later, so you could still leave for that.
I enjoyed that though. Like I enjoyed the beginning. I liked. Even though the whole movie wasn't dark, I liked the dark moments with like Iron Man, like him being the only one alive, and he's like doing that like inner thing. Because especially like with Tony's character, he's all like like big headed, and he's just like all about me, and I don't give a shit. And then like he sees like all the dead like superheroes, and then he's the one alive. He's like, I feel really shitty, like for the first time. And like I like that. I think, to be honest, I think if the whole movie was dark, I don't think I would hate it. I mean, like, clearly I wouldn't be able to tell because it wasn't made. But I don't think initially I would hate it.
No, like, I was all for, like, a darker Avengers movie when this trailer came out. Because I was all like, evil, genocidal robot, it's all Tony's fault, Hulk's going insane, gotta bring out the Hulkbuster.
That's how the comics work. In Marvel now, the newer ones, like a year ago, they made an Age of Ultron, like 10 comics.
Yeah.
It was really dark.
I read like the first issue of it, but back to the Thor thing, I think the reason why Thor doesn't have as much development or character in this movie is because Loki's not there.
Loki was going to be there.
He was going to be there, but it wasn't going to be.
Cut him out.
But it wasn't going to be like a big thing. He was going to make. I think
that scene where he's with like Idris Elba in Thor's little flashback thing. That was originally going to be Loki, but there was like a scheduling issue with Tom Hiddleston, and they couldn't.
See, what I thought it was going to be was there was going to be a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene with Loki like raising the armies of Asgard.
Yeah, because at the end of Thor: The Dark World, he's sitting on Odin's throne.
Yeah, he's Odin. But like I think part of the reason Thor doesn't have as much character development is he doesn't have Loki to bounce off of. Because as much as I love Thor, a lot of his character does come from his interaction with Loki.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is the whole come home, brother, stop being evil, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not a bad character, just like a lot of his like better character moments are with Loki.
Yeah, it's just like he doesn't do. I don't want to say he doesn't do anything, but he doesn't really do a whole lot. Unless Loki fucks something up, and he's like, I gotta go get my fucking brother.
Yeah.
And then he goes and gets him, because, I also thought that the reason why they didn't include him as much, I'm not saying they did a bad job. It was wonderful. They could have done a lot worse. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like, it just was noticeable that he wasn't in it enough. But, I think it's because, maybe, are they making a third Thor movie?
Yeah,
yes.
Ragnarok. Which is gonna come out. It's gonna come after a.
Is that coming out soon?
That's coming out after Civil War.
I
think that's the reason for why they didn't include him.
Probably because they're gonna have.
Because they're like, well, we're gonna have another movie with just him, so he doesn't need.
Yeah. Which
as much
a lot of the stuff that he was doing in this movie set up Ragnarok with like his whole everybody who love like in hell or whatever.
And also, they needed to set up with Hulk. They needed to like set up like, all right, the Avengers, the Age of Ultron, that needs to also have like Hulk's little story of him like running away.
Yeah.
Like, because he's not going to be in the next movie, so he's gonna like, all right, well, we have to develop him, a little bit of like him having like an inner problem with himself, which I mean he's the Hulk. Which is like consistently every movie. He's like I'm gonna hurt people, and
I actually really liked the Hulk in this movie.
I did too. I liked him running away.
Going off the trailers, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna really buy into the whole Natasha Banner situation, but like in the movie, that one scene with the two of them at the bar totally sold me.
Yeah, like they actually had really good, and it kind of makes sense because like they're both kind of like. They're both not really trusting, and they're both kind of, monsters in their own terms. Mm-hmm. So, in a way, it does make sense, and I actually kind of like it now, and I don't hate it.
Yeah, because they both, like, kill people against their will.
Because when I first saw the trailers, I was kind of like, Banner and Natasha, I'm like, no?
Yeah.
Because I was still in the diehard, Natasha and Hawkeye need to be together type thing.
Yeah.
But then, that ship's out.
I was the same way, but then, like, in the movie, it, actually worked really well.
Yeah, it did work really well, yeah.
But you were saying?
Me? I was pretty much... About what? What were we talking about?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Damn it! Let's make something up.
You want to just go to me next?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was pretty much done.
One thing I definitely didn't like was that little, like, journey of self-discovery that Thor took. I felt it happened, like, really randomly.
A little dream puddle thing?
Like, when they're at, like, Hawkeye's house, and he's just like, I need to leave, and then he just flies off, and then, like, we don't really hear from him again. I was like, what was that about? and then like the most you see of where he goes is he goes and he talks to Dr. Selvig.
Which, by the way, what the fuck was his point? Why did Thor need to go to Dr. Selvig to find this like dream puzzle?
I don't know. That's what I'm talking about.
Shouldn't Thor already know where this like mystical Asgardian thing is?
Yeah.
I think the thing was like he knows about it, but he doesn't know enough about Earth.
Oh, okay.
Because he knows about Asgardian stuff like regarding Earth. He knows nothing about Asgard, but Thor knows everything about Asgard and nothing about how it relates to Earth.
I mean, like, it just felt so random. Like, he just goes to this puddle, and then he basically just sees his dream for a second time, and then we don't see him again until he flies in and wakes up the Vision.
I think the dream also helped him like figure out like what the fuck is going on with the Infinity Stones. Like that there was.
I think that was the point of it, but
I
think it could have been explained.
It could have been done a little
better.
Yeah.
Another thing I didn't like. Some of the pacing during the like last battle scene felt a little weird to me because like you were saying they cut away from the Hulk for a really long time, and then there's a scene where Ultron is like, Thor, you're bothering me, and then he takes him to like the church and they start fighting, and then they cut away.
It's like another 15 minutes
before we get back and they're in the exact same place.
Yeah.
So just like the pacing of that last battle was a little weird to me, but I mean overall I still really enjoyed the movie.
Oh yeah. I just want you guys' opinions on all the things. Quicksilver.
I didn't want him to die.
What did you? Okay. Everybody on the internet is bitching that Quicksilver died, and I actually don't hate it. I actually kind of
don't hate it either.
I wish Scarlet would have died.
Oh no, she can't die. No, she.
I want her to
no,
die.
I like her. I like her.
The whole like first half of the movie, I was like, man, they're setting Hawkeye up really well. Oh shit!
I did think they were going to.
Well, no, the reason
if I didn't know that he was going to be in Civil War, I would have been like, Hawkeye's going to die.
Well, here's the thing: is that the guy that played Quicksilver has already signed a multi-picture deal to play Quicksilver.
Everybody signs a multi-picture deal with Marvel. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so
everybody signs a.
They could bring it back. Technically, they could.
The second you get into a Marvel movie, you're automatically signed for at least 7 more movies.
I didn't know.
Because the thing is, Marvel has had that experience with Robert Downey Jr. and they don't want to go through that again. Okay. So it's just like a just-in-case sort of thing. Yeah. So everybody who goes to Marvel gets a multi-picture deal.
Well, the reason I don't hate it that Quicksilver died is because we already have a Quicksilver in the X-Men movies.
And I'm not gonna lie, I like that Quicksilver better.
Yeah, he's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, I don't hate this Quicksilver.
No, I like this Quicksilver.
He can't live up to the.
No, because the other Quicksilver was only on screen for like fucking 5 minutes.
And it was like the best 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, because he had more personality and his powers were a lot cooler too.
Yeah.
Like,
just the way they have the same powers, but the way they used it in Days of Future Past, I think, was a lot cooler.
And that way, like, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but this might also be the way to avoid further complications with Fox regarding like how you can use the X-Men characters, because they had to go through the whole spiel with what you could and could not do with twins in Age of Ultron, because you couldn't mention Magneto.
You can't call them mutants.
You can't call them mutants. So I feel like offing Quicksilver is kind of like a fix to that.
Yeah.
Because you can like at least in this movie,
that
like,
makes sense.
Because in Days of Future Past we don't have Scarlet Witch. In Avengers now, we don't have Quicksilver. So now we have one universe where we have Quicksilver and one universe where we have Scarlet Witch.
And I feel like his death...
So it's not like we're like having a repeat of the same character.
I feel like his death wouldn't have been as impactful if he wasn't dying to save Hawkeye.
No, that was really good.
Just because we're so attached to Hawkeye in this movie now because of all the development
and
they
plus,
gave him.
everybody, we were all thinking he was going to die, so like that was like a big twist that Quicksilver was going to die.
So now that Hawkeye's act of saving him makes Hawkeye's death that much more impactful because it's like, oh, he died killing that new character that we all really like now.
Yeah.
Do you have something else to say?
No, that was it. That was it.
You explaining that with Days of Future Past thing, because like I think I literally just saw that movie like 2 days ago, like because I remember falling asleep through it, and
were you sitting?
I was catching up on Marvel movies.
Okay.
And I love the X-Men movies, and I watched what the hell did I watch? This was like a year ago. The new Captain America movie, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then I got that, and then I got Days of Future Past. So I watched Winter Soldier, and then it was like midnight, and I was still in high school at the time. So I watched Days of Future Past up until probably the halfway point. I saw the breakout scene with Quicksilver, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up at the point where Magneto brought the stadium around the White House, and then I'm like, what happened? Like, and then recently, a couple days ago, I finally caught back up with that. But so you bringing up the reasoning for why they killed off Quicksilver makes me feel better about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, stupid
like
money grabbing companies.
I don't know if they did it because of legal reason or because Joss Whedon just like to kill off characters we like. It's probably both.
I was gonna say it's probably
either way.
Oh yeah, it works. It worked.
Totally,
it was a safe way that worked. Like that's
Yeah, which I was watching a review that somebody was like, I think it was CinemaSins, was like, Marvel is too much of a pussy to actually kill off any of the characters we like.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just bring in this new character that we can kill off, and there won't be any like big collateral damage. But
And like, there's one thing that like Marvel has done that's like always irked me is they've not killed a lot of their characters.
Yeah.
They've killed so many people, but then just the next movie they come back.
Yeah, like Coulson.
But I have a. I don't think Quicksilver's coming back. There's part of me that's like, I'm pretty sure Quicksilver's dead.
I mean, like, there are ways they can bring him back, because they still have, I don't know if that's still in...
They could, but they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't. But the thing that brought Coulson back, like, that's technically meant to bring back an Avenger. Yeah. So they could use that, and also...
They could, but again, shouldn't.
No, but also Quicksilver has that super speed, which would probably enhance his healing. Mm-hmm. So he could recover from all those bullet holes, but like you said, it could happen, but it shouldn't.
It shouldn't, because Marvel needs to like actually start having stakes now, to where people can actually die and stay dead.
There have been the only people that really died in that stayed there are the villains.
Yeah. Like I mean, not even a lot of the villains, because Loki they killed like twice.
Well, like like the majority of the villains, like Stain dead, Whiplash dead, the Abomination lived. Killian, dead. Malekith, dead. Mm-hmm. The Frost Giant King, dead.
Did they kill the Frost Giant King?
Loki killed him.
Okay.
And Thor.
Okay.
Trying to think of else.
It's been a while since I've seen the first Thor, so.
Ronan, dead. Thanos' little bitch minion, dead.
Thanos' little bitch.
I know his name. It's the other, but I don't want to say it. Pierce, dead.
I prefer Thanos' little bitch minion actually.
So like
one thing, okay, real quick. One thing we haven't talked about: the Hulkbuster fight scene with the Hulk.
I liked it.
Was it not like?
What was the name for it? I forget.
Veronica. Because Hulk's girlfriend's name is Betty, and so that's meant to be like when the cool calming Betty can't calm the Hulk down, you got to bring in Veronica to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Which is like a Betty and Veronica thing, like Archie comics. Because Joss Whedon's so clever at making Archie references in 2015.
Oh my god, but that was a crazy fight scene. I actually like. Really, especially like
so cool.
The dialogue that Tony has when he's like, "Oh yeah, don't mention Puny Bear."
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah. Punching him in the face. Oh, so great.
That was like the best thing.
Oh. What else?
Like what I thought the Hulkbuster scene was gonna be is that I heard a theory that they were gonna reverse the theory that in the first movie when it's them versus the Hulk, it's the Hulk going insane pretty much, and they have to stop him. I heard that in this movie it was going to be Ultron was taking control of the Hulkbuster suit, and so Bruce voluntarily turned into Hulk to take the Hulkbuster down.
Yeah, I heard that too, but then like that was from like the first trailer when you just saw the Hulkbuster and the Hulk like fighting a little bit, but then in the second trailer you see Tony like actually inside the suit, so that's like nah.
Well, that could still be like Ultron taking control of the suit.
He could have done both.
I mean, it could have been Scarlet Witch like controlling Tony.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I still liked how it turned out.
Yeah, it was still really great.
I think around the time like the second trailer.
I enjoyed them taking down the entire fucking building, like from the roof going through.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah,
so, I liked how this movie it does kind of show like, and the same with the first Avengers movie, it shows like the collateral damage of a superhero battle, but not to like Man of Steel extremes.
Yeah, because like I mean that collateral damage is definitely going to play into Civil War.
Yeah,
and, like how
which I'm glad they did kind of like go into more of like how gruesome it could be, because you've got to tie in the more superheroes.
There are a lot of people that are like, I don't feel like Ultron set up Civil War enough. I'm like, Tony and Cap are fighting the entire movie. They're clashing the
Except
whole
for like
time.
the very last thing where Tony's like leaving, and he's like, okay, bye. They seem to be on good terms.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
they're at good terms at the end, but throughout the movie, like
they were
Tony's
about to
building
beat the-
Ultron, and like Cap throws his shield at him, like as he's like creating the Vision and stuff.
Whenever they were making the Vision, like they were about to beat the shit out of each other, and if it weren't for Thor just coming in and just doing it, like
we would have Civil War right fucking there.
It would have been Civil War.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes, by the way. Like I love that one. The them creating the Vision.
Vision was like, Vision. We talk about Vision enough. Well, no. One more thing about Vision is that somehow I didn't tie in that it was going to be an Infinity Stone in his head.
Yeah.
Like, in hindsight, all the signs are there, and the minute Ultron takes the stone and puts it in Vision's forward, I was like, Oh!
Yeah.
Shit! How did I not see this coming? This is not in the comics.
God, what else was I gonna say?
Isn't it weird how like this technically isn't the end of Phase 2 and Ant-Man's the end of Phase 2?
Mhm.
Where it's like, we have this holy shit big Avengers movie and then we have fucking Ant-Man. Like, shouldn't Ant-Man have been like the beginning of Phase 3?
There's part of me that thinks Ant-Man is gonna do some stuff to help set up Civil
The
War.
way I see, because Ant-Man's gotta be in Civil War. So the way I see it is that, and this is mainly because of the post-credit scene, which didn't have a lot in it on the surface. Ant-Man better have a fucking amazing post-credit scene. Like, you better fucking have Loki shaking hands with Thanos and giving him the other Infinity Gauntlet,
Oh god.
and fucking have Coulson show up with the team of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think Coulson's gonna come back from the because
No,
Joss
Coulson-
Whedon has said, you know, as
Coulson-
far as the movies are concerned, Coulson is still dead.
Coulson's not gonna. Yeah, nobody fucking. Hold on. When Natasha uploaded all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s secrets to the internet in Winter Soldier, doesn't that technically include the Coulson thing?
I don't think that
Not
happened
if
yet.
That's
Did it
No,
happen
that
yet?
not
happened.
if that's
No, because
not part of Shield's files.
because beginning of
Because that might because I
Okay.
could be wrong, but I believe that those were deleted from the
record?
files
Okay.
off the
No,
record.
because
Yeah.
season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starts like right after
Oh, did it?
Iron Man
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
I was not sure about
And
that.
they have stuff tying into Winter Soldier, so that's happened before then. So.
Yeah. I believe that all that was deleted from Shield's files.
Okay.
So
Because that was like what they were like that was like level 9, level 10, like shit or something
Yeah.
like that.
I'd be fine with Coulson not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, not that I love Coulson, but like, we have enough characters in these movies already. We don't really need Coulson. He has his own show. That's
He
fine.
was really big in the movies anyway.
Like he was the biggest.
A little bit,
The
but
biggest.
not-
The biggest one was Avengers.
yeah.
Like Iron Man, he's just kind of there. Iron Man, he kind of had a big role.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2, he was just kind of there for like one scene. Thor, he was kind of big in a little bit. That's about it though. So anyway, Connor, you want to rate this movie out of 10?
I can't. I was gonna bring up something, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yes. Okay. One more thing that like I really liked about the film. It's not like they kill the big Ultron and then all the little Ultrons die.
Yeah.
They actually individually take out every single one of those little Ultron
Yeah, which
bots.
was I didn't hate about the first movie, but it's kind of like
It's weird. It's the Phantom Menace thing where they blow up the battle station
which
and all the droids.
Joss Whedon had said that if I didn't do that, they'd be spending 3 hours
well,
cleaning up.
Yeah.
They destroyed all of them, and then like the last one was the one talking to the Vision.
Well, you got to remember that in Avengers, there were still enemies coming through the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Age of Ultron, we had a set number of robots
true.
already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So it's like.
So it's a lot easier.
But
to do
I
that.
just like the fact that they actually had to deal with all of the little robots
Yeah,
individually.
it's more realistic for a movie about a guy that turns into a giant green rage monster.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that difference in Age of Ultron and in the first Avengers. In Age of Ultron, they actually had all the heroes like saving the civilians.
Yeah.
That wasn't in
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
Avengers. They were just kind of like fighting, and then like civilians were just kind of like
Because
running away.
that's like Quicksilver dying because Hawkeye goes back to save the kid and
Yeah.
then Quicksilver saves both.
So I enjoyed that superheroes were actually doing their job and actually hands-on protecting people, like
Yeah.
getting them onto the ships and stuff like that. I thought that was cool.
Also, what's her name? Helena Cho?
Helen Cho, yeah.
Helen Cho.
Yeah, Helen Cho.
Do you think that because Helen Cho is in this movie that we could see Amadeus Cho later on?
You mean Amadeus?
Amadeus,
How it's actually
however you
pronounced?
pronounce it.
Amadeus.
Amadeus?
Amadeus.
Amadeus, yeah. It could be. I don't really know for sure, but it definitely could happen.
Because I know he has like a little spin-off comic with Planet Hulk
Yeah.
where it's called like Planet Cho where it's basically
Yeah.
just him tracking and he has this dialogue with Reed Richards. It's like
Well,
really
I could
intense,
definitely
but,
see, like, in a movie, if, like especially, like, a Captain America or Iron Man movie, where there's, like, some hacker that they need to track down, and they find it, and it's a little kid, and it's Amadeus Cho. I can at least see something like that. But, like, a lot of, like, the roles he would play were kind of played by his mom.
Yeah.
So, if they don't do, we kind of already have a Cho filling the role.
Yeah.
If we do, you know, you could be an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. even.
Yeah.
Like, because we already have it kind of set up. Like, they could do it. I just don't know if they will. But it's definitely possible.
Another thing I liked is like they explained why Ultron, because he's like in the internet and stuff, why
Yeah.
he doesn't just like get nukes and shit.
Yeah.
And they just explain that with like Jarvis is blocking him and stuff.
Mhm.
I like that they give like a reasoning behind
Oh,
that.
Jarvis
and
was great.
just
Jarvis
like,
was great.
Yeah, Jarvis was great.
I was upset when like he killed him, and then I'm
I'm
glad that he
Yeah.
came back.
I knew he
Yeah,
would.
they killed another character.
Yeah.
They killed
Well,
not killed
that's
Jarvis.
different. That's a robot. You can't actually kill.
He's
a
real
robot.
to me.
He's more real than any
He's
human.
real to me. Damn it. He's real to me.
All right. Anyway, so
Anyway,
ratings out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. That's gonna be my rating.
Okay.
Because it was a great movie. There are tiny things I would have tweaked and changed, but all in all, really good. So 9 out of 10 for me.
I can agree with that. I would also go 9 out of 10. The things that I mentioned that I disliked, they weren't anything big. I mean, in general, I mean, I love the movie. I don't think there was like there's really nothing too big to complain about. I mean, the things that I said, I was like a little nitpicky, but you know, everybody nitpicks a little bit. So 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because I'm terrible at rating things out of 10. I know it's rated way too goddamn high.
So what is that? Like above
What is
50%?
it?
Thumbs up is definitely above 50%.
What is that like?
Thumbs up about a 9.
Okay.
I just don't want to say 9 because like I always rate things way
So
too
it's a
good.
unanimous 9 out of 10.
So you it is 9 out of 10.
So there you go.
Thumbs up. Okay.
No one's ballsy to go 10, but I'm ballsy to go 1.
I think I might have given the Avengers a 10 out of 10, or at least
The first Avengers?
at least a 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the Avengers are like.
I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily say that the second one is better than the first one.
I would.
But it's. I mean,
Fuck you, Connor.
I've been going back and forth about it in my head a lot. I haven't decided.
There
yet,
are parts
so-
of it that definitely are better than the first.
Yeah,
one.
there are parts of it that are better.
As
but
a
I don't know if as a
whole-
whole it's better.
As a whole, I don't think it's better than like it's kind of like my same thoughts about.
It's very close though.
Yeah,
if it's
kind of like my
really
same thoughts about
close.
Winter Soldier. That I don't think Winter Soldier as a whole is better than the first Avengers, but there are definitely parts. Like I feel like Winter Soldier had bigger stakes and changed the world more than Avengers did. Like I get Avengers kind of like we're suddenly aware of this alien threat and fantasy fight aware with. But fucking Winter Soldier had Shield collapsing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for the
The whole
universe,
Hydra thing was like
for the
cool as
universe,
shit.
that was
Yeah.
bigger than what was happening in Avengers. I don't know the Avengers really, but that's just me. But
All right. So that's our review, guys.
that's our review of Age of Ultron. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you should definitely go and see it. Even though we just
if you haven't seen it, why are you watching
we
this
just
video?
fucking spoiled the whole goddamn movie for you.
Get your head out of your ass. Come on.
We're sorry. We're not giving you your money back.
I didn't pay anything to be here.
So yeah.
They paid time. One of the most valuable things in life.
I can't argue with that.
So yeah.
1 out of 10. Seriously, don't watch the movie.
Yeah. Fucking suck. Ultron was garbage. Like he was the worst fucking robot since goddamn.
God.
Like
Come on, robots so unoriginal.
come on, guys. Come on. I want
Disney
something-
already made that movie. Robots.
I want something original. Where's my Squirrel Girl movie, Marvel? Come on!
Such a
Stop giving us the
squirrel.
same Hulk fights over and over again. Oh! I had a heart attack.
You're still in frame.
Apparently now it's Matt's turn to blow me.
Oh no, that's me.
This video came full circle.
Oh God, it's awful!
I'm gonna show you something beautiful.